If you've been confused while trying to follow the legal developments in the court cases, the various court cases in different states around the country having to do with Donald Trump's Muslim travel ban, then I certainly can't blame you. It has been confusing. But you should bear in mind while looking at these constant back and forths that the court rulings so far in the travel restrictions haven't been any final decisions on whether they're legal. Judges are just considering whether the ban could go into effect while the litigation continued on the underlying merits of the executive order. So there are these various court challenges, and we will know definitively, or at least semi-definitively, on October 10th when the Supreme Court gives the travel ban a full review. What we've had so far are attempts to temporarily block the imposition of the entire travel ban or sections of it, to define certain terms in regard to it. But all of these back and forths are really only temporary measures until the Supreme Court does that review in October. Now, that being said, we do have another development to add on to what you'd previously learned, and this has to do with Donald Trump's attempt to block people using having grandparents and other close family members as a rationale for being allowed to enter the country. He didn't want that to be able to be the case, and the Supreme Court is not, they don't agree with him, although he did get something out of what was revealed today. So the court, in a one-page order just today, prohibited the Trump administration from banning travel by people from 6 Muslim majority countries who have grandparents, aunts, uncles, and other extended family members or residents in the US. That's sort of the good news for those people. Unfortunately, justices said his administration could move ahead for now with plans to impose the ban on a broad group of refugees coming from multiple countries. So a little give, a little take there on the ban. So the ban is not halted. It is a little bit less strict, at least temporarily.
Well, I'm just glad that Trump is using this incredibly critical time to figure out what the hell is going on, because he just needed the 6 months to figure out what the hell is going on. And he hasn't quite been in office for, oh, wait a minute. He had a lot of time to figure out what the hell is going on. But
he doesn't know what's going on.
He's busy holding meetings with world leaders at Trump properties so he can line his pockets with the position that he has, but no one cares about that conflict of interest. He's busy golfing, going to Florida. I mean, those are all really important things. And so, he hasn't been able to figure out what the hell is going on. Yeah. So I'm glad that we are now wasting our precious resources on trying to adjudicate how this travel ban can legally move forward. It's frustrating. I think that his fear mongering and the fear mongering from the right has unfortunately worked to the point where people needlessly support this ridiculous travel ban. But whatever, I mean, if you'd rather see taxpayer money go toward this effort than taking care of our actual citizens, and that's fine. And that's the thing, they think that this is gonna take care of us, right? They're not looking into right-wing terrorism in the country. They're not looking at actual issues that put our safety in jeopardy. They're just looking at these non-existent threats from refugees, people who literally want to escape death and persecution in their own countries.
Yeah. Well, look, I will say that throughout the year there have been a number of big movements and marches and rallies on a number of different issues. You've had, having to do with Donald Trump's taxes or climate science, the Women's March. But there was also a big, not just one day, it was multiple days of rallying at airports that many members of TYT went to. I was lucky enough to be able to go twice to the LA branch of it. To protect people's access to the country, to not stigmatize and in fact block these people from these various countries from coming in. And there were a lot of people across the country organizing for that. And I don't know that I would have expected that would have drawn as much support because of what we fear about people's xenophobia that they've learned from the right. It's one thing to organize for climate science, it's another to organize for women. But this is almost purely, aside from obviously some American Muslims who are organizing for, a lot of people who are doing it for people that they don't know, but because they believe it's right. And so I found that to be very inspirational earlier this year. Now, we don't know what's gonna happen on October 10th when the Supreme, or later than October 10th, but when the Supreme Court considers this and eventually releases a ruling, we don't know if the entire thing will be upheld or knocked down, or if some part of it will go into effect and others won't. We're sort of just trying to read from their interim opinions what they might think. And we do know that 3 justices, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, and Neil Gorsuch, the newest member of the Supreme Court, said that they would have allowed the president to bar travel by extended family members. So your grandma is too big of a threat, according to at least those 3 justices. And the rest, we don't know where they're gonna come out on it. And so there's still, while there's been, at the federal court level, at the appeals court level, there have been good developments since the inauguration. There's also been a lot of reason to fear that the entire thing could someday become law. It's something that we were worried about before the election, and there's still reason to worry about it today.
Help us build independent media. Become a member of the Young Turks. TYTnetwork.com/join.